Hello folks, this is a little Joy of Adventure training video. We spoke a little bit about the practicalities and principles of expedition food, and now I want to chat a little bit about breakfast. Key principle of expedition food was that whatever it is you eat, it's got to be stuff you want to eat. So I've laid out a little selection of stuff here. It's the sorts of things that people might have for the breakfast. I'm a bit of a muesli man myself, although sometimes I do like a cooked breakfast. Depends a little bit upon what time of day, year, and maybe how I feel. But let's think a little bit about the practicalities of when we're on expedition. So I guess the first thing is that making sure that you have enough calories, and breakfast is an important meal during the day. You're going to be working hard, especially if it's cold time of year like Easter, so you probably will find that you want to have a bit more breakfast than you might normally have. And it needs to be breakfast that has a good mix of carbohydrates, things, energy released for the day, but again it needs to be something tasty. So it could be, and my preference when I'm on expeditioning is usually some sort of muesli porridge. You could buy ready-made muesli, you can mix up porridge with dried fruit for yourself, and it needs to be something that you can cook up or have made really simply. Personally, I like to take muesli, I like to add some dried milk to it myself. I like to decant it into maybe a Ziploc bag, like this one I've got my tea bags in, yeah? The right amount, perhaps per meal in that. And then all I need to do is boil up a bit of water, add hot water to it. I've got in effect porridge. I haven't got the washing up of a sticky porridge pan, and it's really easy to wash up. It's warm, it's nutritious, it'll keep me going for a good amount of time. Maybe I might add a little bit of honey to it, and that gives me a nice breakfast. It could be, if I was thinking about a cooked breakfast, then I'd have to think a little bit probably about the practicalities, but also a little bit about perhaps the food hygiene side of things. So, you know, I could bring some eggs, but definitely want to bring them in something robust that's going to withstand being shaken around in a boat. Tins of beans, you know, they're going to last, but they're heavy. Washing up beans at camp is a right old mission. Bacon is fantastic. Bacon sandwiches for breakfast, love them. But I'd have to think, okay, it's a warm expedition. Can I really carry bacon without a fridge? Might be I could freeze it for the first day, but after that, we're definitely on dodgy ground. So there's lots of practicalities about a cooked breakfast. Maybe it's best to be saved for celebratory breakfast when you get back from your expedition. Maybe what you like is toasted marmalade in the morning. That in itself is going to be a bit of a challenge at camp. And carrying a loaf, you know, how are you going to keep that from being crushed, squashed? What happens if it gets wet? Maybe bread rolls and also something like wraps would do if that's your preferred sort of breakfast side of things. Think a little bit about what you're going to put on it. I've got honey here. A jar of honey like that is a recipe for disaster. It breaks in your barrel, sticky honey over everything. Maybe you can get the same thing in a squeezy jar like this. Obviously, maybe there's a little bit of environmental side of things, but this doesn't have to be single-use plastic. You could use it again and wash it out. You want butter on your rolls? You probably don't need something as big as this, but maybe you can divide it and put it into a small Tupperware pot to bring with you. So again, thinking about the amount that you want to use. Maybe your breakfast is breakfast bars or biscuits, yeah? Or maybe even making some own breakfast bars yourself, some flapjack or something like that. Whatever works for you to get enough calories in. Fruit's nice. Oranges are pretty good, they survive. Your bananas maybe survive the first day, but they're likely to end up as pulp. You can take dried bananas, that might work as well. Are you somebody who likes something to drink in the mornings? Personally, I'm a tea man. I fill my tea bags, yeah, and need to think a little bit about the milk that I have in it. So I might take a carton of UHT, okay, make sure it's one that's got a screw top on it, yeah, otherwise you end up with a half-used carton of milk and nothing to do with it, yeah. Better probably is just to accept that powdered milk works much better on camp. Takes up less space, you can put it, decant it into a jar or a plastic tub like that, and just use the amount you need. Could be you're a hot chocolate person. This one says just add water, so that's really simple, isn't it? Again, you might not want that sort of volume, so you might be able to decant it into a small plastic container. It could be that you could get some individual sachets like this. Again, not quite so environmentally friendly, a whole lot more packaging and rubbish like that. If you're not a hot drink person, but you don't just like water, you can get these micro sort of super concentrated juice things. Quick squeeze in your water bottle will give you something to drink. So hopefully that's given you a few ideas. Again, like we said in the previous videos, have a practice, work out what's going to work from a practical perspective, work out how much you need, and try it out at home so that when you go on expedition, you've got it sorted. Thank you for watching.